what's up everybody, this is Jason. Welcome back to the channel, and here's 5 tips you can use that will supercharge your workflow in Logic Pro X. The first one is Screensets, and this is pretty cool. You can save window configurations and you can switch between them just by using the numeric keys on your keyboard. Now these are created automatically. You'll notice in the drop down here I've got 4 screensets that are created. There's no create option here, so if I wanted a 5th one I would just click 5 on the keyboard, and now I've got 5 screensets here. So they're created automatically and they're also saved automatically. So if I go to screenset number 3 here and I open up my editor and I open up this event view, if I switch to a different screenset and come back, those changes are automatically saved. Now let's just say I didn't want to do that, so I'm going to close these off. There's a locking option, so I'm on screenset number 3. I can click on lock, and then now you can see there's a little dot beside that 3, and now that screen set is locked. So whatever edits I do to the screen set here are not going to be saved. So if I switch to screen 4 and then back to screen number 3, you'll notice that they're not saved. So you can rename them, and creating them happens automatically and they're saved automatically, and it can save you a ton of time depending on how you have them set up. I typically have mine set up with one is an edit view, one is a full mixer view, and then another one is just my audio track. So if you've got a track that has tons of audio tracks in it and you only want to see those, you don't want to see the auxiliary buses, you can just set these up basically however you want, and they can save you a ton of time. There's 2 icons up here at the top, and these are vertical and horizontal zoom, and these will automatically resize your window when you are adding and changing tracks. So if I put both of these on here, you notice I've got 4 tracks here. If I were to duplicate this to create another audio track, it's automatically going to keep the whole project sized here. So now if I go and I added a couple of other drums down here, you can see that it's expanding the entire window here. You can toggle these on and off, and it's a pretty big time saver when you want to zoom in and out of projects. The next one is the zoom toggle, and this is pretty neat. So if I've got 3 audio things here, I've got this set up in edit mode here, and I wanted to zoom in on this, I can just hit the Z key on the keyboard, and that is automatically going to make the selection full screen. And I simply hit Z again to go back, and that works for everything. So if I wanted to zoom in on this drum track, I can zoom in on that. You can highlight multiple clips of audio, and you can toggle back and forth. And this is super helpful when you're in your editing phase. There's a feature in Logic called Tap Tempo, and it allows you to tap the keyboard and create the tempo. This is particularly helpful when you're in the songwriting process. It's not turned on by default, but you can turn it on by going to the Logic menu and then key commands and then edit. There is a shortcut key. If you press Option K, that's going to bring that up, and in key commands you start typing Tap Tempo. You're going to see it here, and then you can assign a key to it, and I've got the / key configured for that one right now. And then now if I want to, if I've got a song in my head and I'm thinking about the tempo, you can see the tempo being updated there. So that is a pretty good time saver when you're in the songwriting process. The last one is key commands. Key commands, I could easily do 1,000 videos on all the different possible combinations. Logic comes with a bunch of key commands out of the box. Some of the ones that I use the most are obviously start and stop the playhead by using the spacebar. There is a cycle length on and off that you can use. There is a record that's set up automatically. There's a whole bunch of these that are created automatically with Logic, and you can customize these as much as you want. So again, to bring up the key commands, you go into Logic and then key commands and edit. There also are a bunch of presets here you can use for different keyboard, or for different languages for different keyboards. And then again, the shortcut key is Option and K. And this is going to bring up a list of all of the different commands that you can assign to your keyboard. So if you do, there is touch bar support here, so if you do have a MacBook with the touch bar, you can customize those as well by default, and it's pretty simple. So all you have to do is, if I wanted let's just say record, repeat to be a different key. I can hit any combination of keys. So if I hit Shift F, I'm now going to get this dialog box that pops up. And then if that key is already in use, you're going to get a message like this. And then you can have some weird things go on. So if you've got obviously key commands that are mapped to the same key combination, Logic is going to give you this error. Otherwise, if that key is not reserved, then it's going to create it automatically. So you can go through this list and you can see what are the most common commands that Logic has set up for it. And you could also see what conflicts exist here. So you can see that key M is actually mapped twice. So it's set up in the mute tool, and it's also set up in the Smart Tempo editor. So it is context aware. So whatever window you have open is going to use that shortcut key for that window that is open. So key commands is a really cool way to speed through your editing and your mixing process, and you can customize it until your heart's content. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end. The background music you were listening to is Simple Life, which is my latest single, so stick around if you want to hear a little bit more.